Bun găsit, sunt Adrian Boioglu. La BizPLUS TV discutăm cu oamenii care duc o afacere de la idee până la realizare și mai departe. Iar invitații mei de astăzi, nu unul, ci trei la număr, vorbesc despre industria filmului ca pe o afacere. Sunt tineri regizori care participă la un festival de film din Serbia, mai exact festivalul de film Kustendorf. E bine, acești trei regizori sunt oameni care au prezentat niște filme foarte bune în acest festival. La momentul la care noi înregistrăm nu au fost încă decernate premiile, așa că nu știm dacă au și câștigat, dar am încercat să discutăm cu ei despre modul la care se întâmplă filmele lor, de la idee până la găsirea finanțării, pentru că asta este marea dificultate cu care se confruntă toți regizorii, și până mai departe la promovare, realizare, vânzarea celor filme către, companii de streaming sau cinematografe. Vom discuta cu toți acești regizori despre toate aceste dificultăți și despre modul în care ei își realizează filmele și proiectele. Haideți să vorbim cu ei, să vedem ce au să ne spună. Invitatul meu este Hamidreza Ghasemi, un tânăr regizor de filme din Iran, un om care a arătat o altă față a țării sale, pe de-o parte, iar pe de altă parte a venit cu un film interesant la festivalul Kustendorf. Hamidreza, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for the opportunity to have this interview. First of all, I want to congratulate you on your movie. It was well received at Kustendorf Film Festival, and tonight, because we don't know the winner yet, tonight we're going to have the big results. Are you excited about that? How do you feel the public has received your movie?
I think publics, as I talked with them, they really like my movie, but sure, I'm really excited on it, but not for myself, because I want to. All of the movies is good, and for me it's very interesting to know the results, because I can say that I want and that's something like that. For me, it's also I won, because I came here and I have a many good communication with other people. I'm already won. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Okay, so the experience makes it all worth it. Now, talking about the movie business, because at BizPLUS we are talking about the business side of things. I want to ask you about the challenges you face as a young director in your country and in Europe. So, where do you find the funding necessary, the sponsorships, when it comes to a movie, and how difficult it is for you to gather all the necessary means to do a movie the way you want to do it?
Yeah, to finding money is really hard, because we have a problem with it. But in my movie, I'm a sponsor of the movie, and I'm working, and it's a little amount of money we made it with together, and it's really important for young directors to not spend a lot of money. You need the good groups that who they are falling in love in cinema. We have a good we have a same or similar ideology, or you are thinking the similar. It's really important, because without these things in young directors that it's not exist. We can find then money. We are just doing by ourselves like that. So it's the first problems. But about a camera or something technical things, we don't have a problem in Iran. We have all things that we want, but we need to pay for it. So that's why all the people paying and helping together to make a movie. So that's why Iranian movies still exist, and they are go to the outside of the Iran and the international film festivals. It's because they are falling in love in the cinema. Those people working on it, and without any money, without any benefits, just for making movie.
Now, besides the money side of things, what are the other challenges you face when it comes to making a movie?
Being yourselves. It's really difficult to be yourselves, to do what you want. to say what you want. Generally, all of the Iranian directors, they are afraid, I think. They are afraid to tell what they want. It's really important. We have many good directors, but it's especially those persons who doesn't afraid to telling what they want. So being yourself is very big challenge in Iran.
So is that a question of freedom, or is it a question of political views or religious views?
All of them.
All of them.
All of them.
Okay.
If I want to telling something that they don't want, so it's forbidden and it's a problem for me. Mm-hmm. So that's many directors, smart directors that they are very well known all around the world. They found the compromises. They found the middle line. But anyway, is sometimes I think that we should to stop to this censor to yourselves. You should to stop it and be honestly, at least honestly with yourselves, then audience. So this is a big challenge, I think, really. Except the money is a really big challenge.
When it comes to your movie was well received in Kustendorf Film Festival, and I want to ask you about when it comes to a movie like this, how much money do you need in advance, and how do you promote it afterwards? How do you get the resources to promote it? Do you go? Do you have like a cinema institution in your country? Are you looking for funding maybe outside Iran? How do you find it?
I actually right now I try to find a foundation in outside of the Iran, because I know that with this opinion I can work in Iran. Nobody want to support me. Mm-hmm. So it's obviously I need to make for feature films. I need a big amount of money for budget of the filmmaking. So I am looking in outside of the Iran to find money for future. But to promote these movies, Breeze, that I screened here, I did all things by myself and my friends like that. Mm-hmm. Nobody helped us, like that's all.
Okay. When you come to Europe, do you think that your movies are regarded as different, more, exotic? How do you perceive what the audience tells you? Are they, do they like it? Do they say they are different? What were the reactions you got so far?
I really scared, because I never screened my movie in European countries, and I thought maybe they can't understand me, because the history of the movie is very international. It can be happen even
anywhere in the world.
Mm-hmm. But the Iranian moral or Iranian mental is a little bit difficult to understand, because it's Asian mental. And Middle East mental is little, how to say, it's little...
it's different from the one in Europe, of course.
For me, I got shocked that people love the movie and they can understand what I want to say. For me, it's a big, how to say, big...
it's a relief after all, because you were greeted with all the positive comments and everything.
Yes. It's a good feedback. It's really good feedback. Yes.
Okay. Now talking about the future, do you think it's a good option to speak with cinemas, maybe with big chains, or to go to companies like Netflix or other streaming companies to broadcast your movie to more people, to millions of people around the world?
I think it's a little bit not right question, because how to say, the good arts found his audience.
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
Yes. So no need to have a commercial thing and do something commercial, because if you are doing well, you can find your audience. So for me, it's the first step of my works in future. I want to go do the good art, and then I think it's really hard and need many times to find out audience, but it will happen. We have a very good phrase in Persian. I want to translate it in English. We say that if the comes from your heart, art, he found another heart. I came from my heart and goes to the another heart. So I try to doing what my heart tell me.
Now, your film is called Breeze. The subjects, I don't want to spoil it for everyone because they should see it. The subject is something that may be regarded as not something that you want to show in a very religious country, you know. Did you show your movie to your people in your country? What was their reaction? I'm curious about that.
I can show it for everyone, but those people who are watching the movie, they can understand it, and they can really like it, because we have a same problems, we have the same issues, and we have the same solution. So they can really understand it, but sometimes they think that it's a little bit how to say, because I studied in Russian, they think that it's very Russian style, and when I showed it in Russia they think it's really Iranian style. So it's a mix. I can understand how to behave myself in these feedbacks, but the small groups who watched my movie, I think they can understand it. I can say that they like it, but they understand it.
Thank you so much for this interview. Good luck with the contest tonight, and all the best in your endeavors.
Thank you.
Thank you. Invitata mea este Valeria Kuznetsova, un regizor din Rusia, un regizor care a impresionat spectatorii de aici de la festivalul Kustendorf cu un film care se numește Electric Boogie, un film care vorbește despre relații de familie, despre o familie care avea ceva probleme. Nu vreau să dau prea multe spoilere, pentru că este un film pe care merită într-adevăr să-l urmăriți. Cel puțin mie mi-a plăcut cel mai mult din acest festival exact acest film, și atunci este plăcerea mea să o am alături pe Valeria. Valeria, thank you for being here. I was telling our viewers that your movie was one of the best and my personal favorite in this festival. So thank you for being here. My first question is about your work. Could you please let us know how you end up in this festival? How did you make this movie? And what were the reactions you got from the viewers here in the festival?
Я не ожидала такую реакцию. Я на самом деле даже удивилась, почему выбрали мой фильм. Ну, наверное, это тоже нормально, потому что режиссеры хотят, чтобы все было идеально, у них есть какая-то в голове уже картинка, а потом ты снял и понимаешь, что не то. Вот. Но на самом деле мне было очень приятно услышать, как зал встретил, как аплодировали, и это было просто невероятно. И тогда я уже поняла, что неважно, что у тебя было в голове, главное, что увидел зритель, как это восприняли и как встретили. Вот. И это было супер просто.
First of all, she hasn't any expectation about the festival reaction, about the reaction, and because the reason was because she thought that it's not a good enough film. She has a lot of doubts about quality of her film, and she was too surprised when she got an invitation to the festival, and more surprised when he have seen the reaction of the audience, viewers, and the applause, twice applause, and at that moment when she have seen the reaction, the viewers, she figure out that it's not important. It's not the most important thing. What do you as a director thinking about your film. It's not so important. What's more important is what thinking your viewers about your film. And she received from his emotional, from your emotional, and another personal, and figure out that it's more important. It's a good movie if they said so.
Absolutely. When it comes to BizPLUS, we are talking about the business side of things, and we want to ask you, how do you find the means to do the movie? How do you find the necessary funding, the sponsors, and because it's a big struggle for young directors?
Да, это большая проблема, и так как я студент, это мой выпускной дипломный фильм, мне очень повезло с командой. У меня получилось все, что все поверили в эту историю и сложились. То есть мне помог и оператор, и художник по костюму, я сейчас боюсь кого-то забыть, и продюсер. И у меня 2 продюсера, и мы все потихонечку так скинулись. И плюс нам помогли очень люди, мы делали краундфандинг, вот, и тоже набрали определенную сумму. И я очень признательна всем, кто нам помог. И в целом это была такая...
First of all, it's the biggest problem. Find the foundation, but there is a bit of luck because a lot of people, including the crew, who believe in the story, who believe in the director, and to put out his money out his put his money in this budget. It's like a DP, art director, and producers, herself, and another people give us money to make this movie, and we have shooted a teaser. The teaser that will said what about this story will be, and a lot of people seen this teaser and believe in the story and give us someone $1, someone $10, someone
through crowdfunding. Yes.
Yeah. So it was we was anyway so limited in economy, but we're helpfully with people. Fine.
Okay. Now, when it comes to making a movie, now the movie is done. You present it in a festival, but how do you promote it even further? Where do you want to take it? Do you want to take it to the cinema, maybe to streaming companies like Amazon Video or Netflix or other big companies, HBO maybe? What is the next step for you?
Честно, я уже немножко устала от фильма, мне прям тяжело, и я, наверное, больше рассчитываю на продюсеров в этом плане, который у меня есть. Вот, а я хочу уже перейти к другому фильму и начать снимать документальную историю и как бы вдохновиться жизнью. Вот.
She supposed that it's so unexpected answer will be. So she tired of this film. She want to forgot about that film and step further to the next documentary film, and she put your it's observation to the producers and to head a first agent who deal with that.
Okay. Now, all the movies, most of the movies, the short movies in the festival are related to social, political, and other things like that, the issues, around them, dealing with all of that. Your movie is different, is very different. Are you tempted to go in that direction, to talk about social and political and economic issues, or more about the stories, about your characters, and about some personal issues, rather than economic or political or other things? Mm-hmm. So are you tempted to go in that direction, to go to the economic, political, and other issues, like big issues, or go to personal stories about the characters and about their feelings? So what is more interesting to you, to go to see these kind of issues, like big issues, economic, political, or personal issues, and deal with those kind of things?
Для меня очень важно, что внутри, и мне кажется, что оно сильнее работает, и то, что у нас внутри, оно как бы затрагивает все. То есть лучше от себя идти, и даже вот следующий документальный фильм, который хочу снять, он про моих одноклассников, и про прошлое, и про переживания, и мне кажется, что это как-то сильнее трогает людей, то, что нам всем понятно, и это помогает нам становиться добрее, любить друг друга, сплочаться, то, что у нас есть внутри. И я стараюсь от этого и отталкиваться, от внутреннего.
First of all, she thought that you have to look inside your soul and thinking what touching your heart, and you starting coming from your heart. What's touching your heart? What's touching your thoughts as a person, and do that. For her example, she rules that, and that's the secret of success, maybe, for why that theme touching another people, because they see that you're honestly with them, that you're open-minded with them, open heart with them, you like and open your soul, and another person see in the soul something from themselves, and it's your statement, and it's representative in your next film, documentary. She preparing to make a documentary film about your schoolmates, who they were in your school, who they are now, what changed in them, in their soul. It's what's touching your heart and what it's worrying her.
Mm-hmm. Now, Russia is a big country, and you have the audience is huge. Now, are you interested in making movies more about the things in Russia and show it to the Russian viewers, or are you more interested in going international, to going to such festivals and maybe do something that can speak to anybody's language?
Наверное, так как я плохо знаю английский язык, мне нужно сначала выучить его, чтобы обращаться на всю аудиторию. Вот. И наверное, пока, мне кажется, мне легче начать с малого и расти. Вот. И это, потому что я очень переживаю, наверное, порой недооцениваю фильм. Вот. А когда я вижу отклик в какой-то малой аудитории, мне проще разрастаться. Вот. Поэтапно. То есть мне сложно сразу на весь мир транслировать.
First of all, if you want to say with worldwide with people from another country and in their English, you have to know this language. And first of all, she wanted to learn that. And after that, she will be prepared to shooting the film for worldwide. And another side of this question is that she thinks that it's the more proper way to start from something small, from the maybe personal story, maybe something local story, local audience, and then you go to the become wider, and it's depends of your believing in yourself. Are you ready to say for world something? Are you are you gonna or not to say something? And you have deserve your right to say the word something. And she gonna to start with something smaller, and it's a long way, like upstairs, becoming upstairs to say something to the world.
What is your advice for young directors, young creative people that want to do the same thing that you do, to have a movie, have it shown to a really good audience, and to go to festivals? What would you say to them, those maybe that are maybe afraid to start or to put their ideas together and money together to create a beautiful film like yours?
Наверное, мне кажется, очень важно начинающему режиссеру ходить на площадки к другим режиссерам и смотреть, как они работают. Потому что, во-первых, ты учишься, во-вторых, ты понимаешь, что ты сможешь тоже так, что это не так страшно, как может казаться на первый взгляд, что все мы делаем ошибки, что все мы учимся. И и вдохновиться в том числе вот этой площадкой, и то, что там не все так страшно, а все очень по-доброму, все открыты, все помогают, все работают на идею.
If you want to shooting, you have to go to the stage, to the set day, and shooting with another person as assistant or just as a viewer, and to looking for around how people doing his work, his job, and to understand that it's not so. It's filmmaking. It's not a miracle. It's just a job, and if you don't believe in yourself that you can do it, you just have to go to the stage and to see that everyone can do it.
I see. Valeria, thank you so much for this interview. Congratulations again for a wonderful movie, and good luck in all your endeavors, and make it that your movie is seen by millions of people around the world, and you're gonna find the fame and the recognition you deserve.
Thank you.
Prima mea invitată de astăzi este un regizor din Israel. Este vorba despre doamna domnișoara Tal Kantor, un regizor care a prezentat la festivalul Kustendorf din Serbia un film de animație, Letters to a Pig. Tal, welcome to BizPLUS TV. First of all, let me congratulate you for your wonderful movie that you presented here in Kustendorf, and ask you what was the reactions you gathered from the public, from the viewers.
Thank you. I'm really happy with the reactions. I think people integrate with the subject of the film in different ways, even though it comes from a personal story, very local perspective. It seems like globally there's a possibility to connect to the subject of historical narrative and transmission to younger generation, especially regarding trauma, and the reaction also to the medium of animation itself in the context of this festival is quite special, and I'm happy people are really interested and curious and moved by the film, so this is great.
Your movie was the only one that had it was animated. It was not just a regular movie. So when you go into a festival like that, what are the mechanisms? What are the things that you think about when you go into a movie festival and you go with an animation? Do you think it's more difficult? Do you think it's going to be easier for you? Is it going to be different? How do you think about that?
First of all, I come with curiosity because coming from the animation field, usually I go to festivals that are animation oriented. So in such festival, it's quite unique for me to get to see so many films from live action field. So personally, it's inspiring. And it feels unique and both maybe strange sometimes to be exceptional in this way. But it's interesting because it puts the film suddenly in a different context other than animation festivals. So I find it interesting and inspiring, mainly. Yeah.
Are all of your movies the same? Are all the animations, or this is just an exception?
This is my second film in this technique that is actually a combination of live action filming actors and combining it with animation. So this is my main visual language that I work in the past several years already, but you can never know. Maybe next film will be a total live action film, maybe just animation. It really depends on the subject of the film and what it needs to be. What is the story and what is the content, and then the form adapts to it. So
now at BizPLUS we are talking about the business side of things, and I want to switch to that because I'm really curious to find out, how do you find the resources for this? How do you find the funding for a movie, and how difficult it is to try to find a sponsor or a company that can support you in your endeavors?
So this film is quite a complicated pipeline to make because it's actually two films in one. It's a live action film and it's an animated film, and also traditional one on paper. So it's a long, complicated process. And this is why what was helpful was to have a co-production. So it's an Israeli-French co-production. We got funds, cinema funds in Israel, supporting the film. Actually, 3 funds eventually supported this film. And on the French side, we have the Arte channel and Sensei support, and also Cyclic Animation Residency. This is where we made the animation. So it's a collaboration of different funds for cinema that allowed us to make this film, luckily.
Now, do you go shopping for sponsors before you make the movie, or you make it first and then go look for funding?
Usually, there's a long process of fundraising for making the film. With this film, I was lucky to have my Israeli producer and my French producers. In Israel, it's the Hive Studio, and in France, it's Mio Production. They were the one who were in charge of raising the funds for the film. I also did a pitching session. This is where we started actually the project. I did a pitching session in Annecy Festival in France. It's the biggest animation festival based in France. And this is where I won a grant for production to make the film in France. So that was a starting point to have a base of funds for the film. With this, we could apply for different fundings in Israel and in France and receive more. But
I don't want to talk specific numbers, but when it comes to a short movie, what are we talking about? Thousands of euros, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of euros? How much do we think about?
This is a good question for my producers. There is the desired amount and there's the reality, and usually it's less than the desired amount. But yeah, we speak about maybe hundreds of thousands. Like I know it in shekels, in Israeli shekels, less in euros. But it could be around 100,000 euros. For a short film as such, and even that is like a low...
So do you get even with that kind of money, or can you live off of that for a while? Do you have the necessary funding to go to festivals, for example, or to promote it even more?
This sometimes, there's always like less than desired, but for example, going to festivals, I get... many times support by my embassy, that they support my travel, arriving to events and distribution. We have a wonderful distribution company, French distribution company that is called Mio Distribution. It is part of Mio Production. So all this helps to promote the film, but there's a lot of work behind the scene. I have to be honest, say that there's a lot of extra work that everyone on the team puts on this beyond the budget to make it happen.
We're getting closer to the end of the interview, and I want to ask you, what are your future plans? Talking about the business side of things, I know you have to think about art and you have to think about your movies and ideas and creativity, but you have to eat, you have to live. So when it comes to the movie business, which can be impacted by, let's say, a pandemic, the people aren't going to the cinemas anymore, they're watching maybe movies online, on Netflix and other things. Do you think this is a good direction for you? Can you maybe do a partnership or sell your movies to big streaming companies like Netflix or others?
That would be an option. I wouldn't reject such an offer. There's many possibilities, I have to say, but in the animation field, because it's such a time-consuming medium, it takes so long to make a film. Hence, the funding needs to be quite big. There's also productions coming from that partnership with Netflix that get cancelled, or there's a lot of difficulties in there. But definitely, I would wish to continue make my art, hopefully with less. How do you say it? Wait, I forgot the word in English. Sorry. Compromises.
I see. Okay.
I don't know if I should say it again. Do you?
No, it's all right. It's all right. At the end, please tell our viewers what would be your advice for young creatives that want to express their work the same way you do.
That's a good one. I think, first of all, to have a story that comes from your guts, that you really wish to tell and you wish to wake up every morning to do. And don't do a film for someone else. It has to be first something that you're eager to say and to share. And to work with a good team, good friends, good colleagues, people you trust that can push you further and also give you good critique when it's needed. I think these are the two tips I could give, I think. Yeah.
Thank you so much for this interview.
Thank
and
you.
Congratulations again for your wonderful movie.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bun, aceasta a fost emisiunea de astăzi de la BizPlus TV. Eu sunt Adrian Boioglu, alături de colegul meu Mitic Raftu. Până data viitoare vă dorim o zi mai bună.